So, hi guys, welcome to NLP Mantra once again, and this is Muhammad Ali. I am here today with one of the best trainers I have ever trained with, Patryk Wezoski and Kasia Wezoski. They are the center of body language. Let me put it this way. So we'll have a chat with them to figure out what they did, why they did, and how they did, and what are the future plans. So thank you very much, Patryk and Kasia, for
Thank you,
coming
Mohammed.
for the
Thank
interview.
you.
Thank you.
Welcome. I want to know first, how did it start, and why did it start? Like body language. Normally people talk about NLP, or people talk about different trainings, but only one specific aspect, which I know is very important. But how did it start, and why body language?
So actually, it started with a business meeting.
Mm-hmm.
We had a business meeting in my company.
Okay.
It was in city center of Warsaw, Poland,
Uh-huh.
and it was such an effective meeting that we became a marriage.
That's interesting.
Yes. And the meeting actually was about collaboration in body language, because we had similar expertise. I was more into coaching. Patryk was already doing trainings in body language and micro expressions.
Mhm.
And we combined our forces to build our international company. And actually, thanks to this business meeting, we also decided to do it internationally, because first I was doing it more in East Asia, and Patryk was in Belgium, in the Netherlands, and this meeting started the big adventure that we have right now, and the international center with 45 partners in 20 countries.
Wow. So it was like the Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
Yes,
Exactly.
she said we need to go international, and we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was how many years ago?
This was 8 years ago now.
Actually, I said that I'm not going to speak Dutch, so we have to do it in English. And
So you chose the easy
Yes,
way out.
yes.
Wow, 8 years, huh?
Yeah, and I think body language is so important because it's a superpower that everybody can learn, and you can make a bigger impact in life, in business, and especially if you focus on micro expressions, these tiny movements of half a second or shorter that nobody knows how to see if they don't follow the training, then that's amazing. It's like reading minds.
So I have to hide myself now?
Well,
it's too
you know,
late.
It's too late.
It's too late. The first 4 seconds will reveal the truth. So,
Oh, really? It's that short, huh?
yes, that's short. So we already established rapport, and we can already see that you are open, honest person, and that you are not lying.
Thank you very
To
much,
us.
Kasia. That's nice of you. Which takes me to my next question. Normally, companies call people for trainings for sales, management, and I have not much heard about companies asking people to do body language training, for example. What is your advice for such companies? Number one, what body language will bring different than the other normal sales trainings they do?
What is important to know is that body language gives a total new horizon, total new dimension to any kind of business, negotiation, sales, recruitment, leadership, and so on. So what I suggest is that if people want to increase sales, they just need body language. Recently, in our article in Harvard Business Review, and also a few years back at TEDx and at Harvard University, we have presented the results of our study that has shown that every single person that goes through our training, that increase their emotional intelligence with an average of 10%, and that salespeople that score above average on our micro-expression test, so if you can read micro-expressions and body language well, then on average you sell 20% more products or services. So it's scientifically measurable that you need body language, and it has a big advantage in sales. That's what we've measured. So if companies would like to increase sales, well, body language would be actually, together with micro expressions, the main thing to look at. And we can actually test, together with you, Mohammed, we can test in a company how their salespeople perform in just 2 minutes. It takes 2 minutes time for a salesperson to assess if they're naturally good at recognizing body language and micro expressions or not, and if they need training or not, and what is the return on investment.
Wow, see, 20% increase in sales, guys. Is it something that we are missing in our trainings and stuff? That's a question you need to ask yourself. But that's very interesting, Patrick. 20% increase, and you can actually evaluate a person. Like nowadays, HR departments, they do a lot of psychotherapies and psychoanalysis, and I don't know, EI analysis. So they take, it's a big questionnaire, 2 hours and stuff like that. So you're saying in 2 minutes, only in 2 minutes, you can analyze a person's sales?
Exactly, because they watch just 20 videos. It's a test online that they do. They watch 20 videos and they need to recognize what kind of emotions they see on those short videos. And most of the people are wrong, because the average is 25% score on recognizing those faces.
Are we that bad in recognizing body language?
At the recognizing micro expressions, yes. But the good news, it's trainable.
It's trainable. Okay, that's a good news. But that is a very interesting question, because normally people believe, I mean, I know, Kasia, you are a very dedicated mom and you're doing all your things together with, I think Victoria is about 3 months old.
3 months.
3 months old. So, but moms are very good in reading not only body language, linguistic languages and all sorts of children languages.
That's why they are so quiet, because the children are very close to us and you don't hear any noise. There are 2 children there.
Yeah.
No noise.
Just behind the camera,
Yes,
actually.
exactly.
So they are already being body language trained, so, which is interesting. It means if we start working on the children at that age, unknowingly, unconsciously, it will have an impact, or it has to be trained when you are an adult.
And actually at Harvard University, we've presented also the results of the research on children. And we discovered that children are actually 10% better at recognizing the micro expressions than their parents.
Really?
Yes.
But they don't even know.
They don't know. But we lose that skill on the way somewhere. So we have to learn it again.
And then maybe a good example is in sales. That's in many companies, salespeople, they use a script to sell. So you have a special script, you have to learn it by heart, and then you know, okay, you have a client, so this client will go for option number A, so you have all the script to tell him, to convince him about option number A. Just in case he's not convinced, you have option number B and option number 3. And this is how you you go about it. With our training and recognizing micro expressions, you do it differently. In 1 minute, you assess by looking at the faces what they would like to buy. Okay. And by giving them different statements and assumptions and looking at the face, you will see how they react emotionally with the micro expressions. And based on that, you can follow them, looking deeper into what they really need, and also assess what will be the best price for the product. So in actually 2-3 minutes, you already know what they want to buy and what is the price. So it helps to connect with your client, because they feel understood, because from the beginning there's better rapport and you are talking only about the option that they are interested for them, not about everything. And second thing is that you also save time, because you don't need to talk for 1 hour to close the deal. You can talk for 20 minutes and you have better understanding and the deal is closed.
In fact, I'm just thinking maybe a lot of our audience might be wondering what is the micro expression word. So if one of you can explain how many micro expressions they need to remember. They might be thinking, oh my God, I don't know how many we have to remember.
So we teach 26 variations of 7 basic micro expressions. And if you know those, you're good for 99% of your meetings. And a micro expression, the definition of it, is a half a second muscle movement on the face, or shorter, that reveals the true emotions. So it's a sign of what somebody truly feels, and especially it's triggered by the emotional and the reptile brain, so you can't control it. And if you're good at reading it and you know how to speak, that's the blink conversation technique that you teach people as well. Yeah. If you know how to speak to trigger those micro expressions, then everybody's kind of almost naked in front of you, at least with their thoughts and their emotions, because they can't control it. Yeah, it's involuntarily.
So there is no way you can fake the micro expression.
No, even between me and Kasia,
That was my next question, by the way.
Yes, that's how I discovered the name of our baby that she didn't want to tell me.
Oh, really?
And we have no surprises, unfortunately. So, birthdays are really, well, it's not boring, but, there are no surprises ever.
It's fun, but we have a lot of positive micro expressions on our face.
Which is very, very interesting, because when you learn these things, so can they find out my credit card pin if they learn the micro expressions?
Well, no, because what you see sometimes on YouTube and on other videos, it's a lot of myths and it's a lot of setups. What you teach, Mohammed, with micro expressions and with Blink and the master program is the closest that you get to mind reading in real life, but the actual real life skill, what is doable for every single person. And it's a superpower that everybody can learn. It is a superpower because most people don't have it, especially since most people score 25% on the test.
It is a superpower in 1 or 2 minutes be able to recognize the hidden agenda of your business partner or your client, so that you can talk about what is important, and you can create better business relationship, have more success, more clients.
Anything scary in knowing all these facts?
Yes, you need to
relationships.
You need to be aware that you will also be able to read micro expressions that shows those tiny emotions on the faces of your partner, of your children, and maybe you will learn that your daughter is in love with somebody you wouldn't like her to be in love, or your wife is looking at other men sometimes. So be careful.
So it leads to more authentic relationships, actually. So you discover the truth.
Okay. Which is my next question. When they talk about micro expressions, body language, there are a lot of myths. For example, I can detect lies if somebody is moving his eyes up or somebody is, hiding his face. It means he's lying. Is that true?
Most of them are myths, unfortunately, and are repeated and repeated in a lot of books and videos. But it's actually badly trained people and the media who have exaggerated this. And actually it doesn't work.
Yeah. There's no single sign of lying that would be indication 100% that this person is lying. You need to look at what is happening between the non-verbal language and what they say. And you will see those incongruencies. You will see those micro expressions that are contradicting the words. And this would be the key to learn that they have something else in mind.
So the good news is it's trainable. There are different techniques that help to discover lies, like the blink conversation technique. But it's not that simple as just looking whether somebody looks to the up, left, or right.
Which, talking about the blink technique, guys, it's one of the most close to my heart things that I am thankful for Patryk and Kasia to teach me, and it's like a magic, right? Which takes me to my next question. How did you guys do the magic when you were predicting the outcomes of elections, and I believe you are also putting a movie around it as well. So how did you do that magic of predictions? Is it only the two of you when you're predicting hundreds of people sitting out there, or how does it work?
Well, we predict indeed the outcome of different elections. Lately we've predicted that Macron in France would win the presidential election. In 2012 we predicted that Obama would have won, and we've done it in different other countries. We predict outcomes of presentation contests as well. And basically what we look for are micro expressions on the faces of the people that will choose who will win. So not the ones that present, but the ones that look at the ones that are candidates or the ones that are presenting. And while the judges or the voters look at the video or at the speaker or the candidate, we record their micro expressions, their body language, and we analyze those hundreds and hundreds of videos. We put them into statistics and we explore the probability that somebody will win. and until now we've been always correct. It's a science, so it's not magic.
Yeah,
it's just a
because I
science.
remember I saw one of your, you did I think in Belgium or Holland, where you predicted the results of a reality show or some business competition,
Yes.
right? Now, you were prompt in predicting it within I think 5 minutes or 10 minutes?
Yes.
So before the judges came on
Right.
stage, yes,
Is
it
it-
took half an hour actually.
Half an
but
hour.
Yes.
But still, within half an hour to predict, I think there were about how many participants?
There were 8 finalists.
8 finalists, right?
Yes.
So it still takes a lot of time. I mean, for people to see faces and read and analyze. So do you have a formula for that, or it is all experience and learning?
We have a formula for that, yes,
Okay.
and it takes, at least 2 days training with you, Mohammed, to be able to learn that
Okay.
skill.
Okay.
So it takes some time, but it's a science, it's a formula everybody can use, and also in your business meetings when you're talking to somebody at the other side of the table, you can predict if they like what you're doing or not, and what you can change to win in that conversation and how to come to a partnership.
And it's also about making impact, because everybody of us makes an impact on other people.
That's
so
right.
what we are measure is what is exactly this impact. So who would be the most successful person, who would be the winner, who would be the most charismatic, the most convincing person, depending on what you see in other people's eyes. And you can also, by being able to recognize micro expressions in other people's faces, see what is your impact on other people and how you can work on that, how you can change it, how you can improve your impact.
Which reminds me of the leap that you took and the impact that you are making now.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I hear that our baby is making an impact too.
Yes,
On the-
and I
Kasia.
feel it in my heart. So I think this is time
I know. I think this is the time for Kasia to give
to
us-
take care.
Thank you. And a message to persons listening to this is, if you've been triggered like, wow, I need to learn this, or I'd like to find out more, well, contact Mohammed.
Thank you very much. Just one few word for my listeners before you leave. How do you think? How did I perform in my training?
You do amazing, and we're really proud to have you as a partner
Thank you.
and be able to deliver this training that is changing lives for persons around the globe. So thank you.
Thank
very
you
much.
very
you
much,
very much.
Patryk. Thank you very much, Kasia. And guys, I know that you liked it, so you share it, like it, and comment on it, and give us your feedback. And we'll be seeing you very soon in our trainings in Dubai, Pakistan, or wherever you want to. Thank you.